Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Swami Jyotirmayananda Society, a journey to self-realization. Please subscribe our channel for the mystical meanings and to enjoy daily satsang. We are currently exploring the book Mystery of the Soul, Katha Upanishad, commentaries by Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. We are currently on chapter 2, section 1, mantra number 10. Yama, the Lord of Death, continues to guide this wonderful, advanced aspirant, 5-year-old Nachiketa. The Yama continues, veiled by Maya, Brahman appears as Ishvara, the divine ruler in the causal plane, Hiranyagarbha, cosmic mind in the astral plane, and Virat, the cosmic physical universe in this physical plane. This world with its three planes is nothing but Brahman, the Absolute. And we had covered this quite a bit in yesterday's Satsanga also, which is Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha, and Virat, the cosmic planes that also reside within us as Vishwa, Tejas, and Pragya. So the same Brahman expresses itself in the form of the subjective creation through avidya. Avidya means ignorance, and that becomes the root cause of our being stuck in the world process. It appears as pragya, the sleep individual, tejas, the dream individual, and vishwa, the waking individual, in the three planes of existence: causal, astral, and physical. So it's important to know that these are three planes: physical, astral, causal. Physical being our body, etc., that is visible. Astral is the inner instruments that you cannot see: senses, mind, intellect, ego. And then causal body is where the ignorance resides, and that's why it's called causal, because that is the cause of your birth, cause of your death, the cycle of birth and death. Because and that therein resides the king of the problems, Ravana, the devil. So that has to be eradicated, ignorance. Unless that is done, we will continue to circulate in this illusion. However, these planes and divisions do not affect Brahman, just as ether is not affected by the shapes and sizes of the jars and different vessels, etc. It doesn't matter. So ether is ether, whether it's in a cup or in a house or in a big hall. So the sky is not affected by the clouds that bring many apparent variations in it, nor is the sun affected by its manifold reflections in rivers and streams. So too, the self is not affected by the three planes of existence, neither subjectively nor objectively. There, Therefore, it's the mystery of the self that we have to understand becomes a bit complex for most people, and that's why it requires self effort. It's beyond our logical mind, it's beyond our senses, it transcends all these things. So, the reality that exists within the heart of each individual is the reality behind this entire universe. Thus, this mantra shows the identity of Tat, which is Brahman, with the basis of the objective universe, with Tvam. Tvam is the self. Thou art that. Self Tvam, the basis of the internal world of mind and senses. So, until one develops intuitive vision, which is also known as pragya, the intuitive intellect, the veil of ignorance continues to limit one's understanding. Suppose there's a curtain in front, you can't see what's happening behind the scenes, so the curtain has to be removed, and that curtain you may call ignorance. So unless that goes away, you cannot see behind the scenes of how the self is expressing, operating, functioning, etc. Overcome by limited understanding and deluded by ignorance, human beings are unable to discover the divine unity that underlies the illusory projections of names and forms. See, they all differ. All the names and forms are there, but behind that is the same one Brahman. They perceive multiplicity where there is absolute unity. There is no me and you. There is no thine or mine and him and her or my friend and enemy. It's all the same stuff. It's like same clay, and we make different pots out of it. And then we say, I got a mug, or I got a plate, or I got a different looking wine bottle, whatever you call it. But it's the same pot, same basic element, mud. Same thing with your ornaments. If they're made of gold, you have earrings, or you have bracelets, or you have necklace, you get caught in that. But in essence, what is the reality? It's all gold only, nothing more. So they perceive multiplicity where there is absolute unity, no difference, all one. There is no difference between this world and Brahman, between here and there. Tat Tvam Asi, thou art that. The perception of differences is caused by the presence of impure samskaras, worldly impressions in the unconscious. That is what creates it. And therefore, we call it the process of purification. These impure sanskaras have been going on for a long time, many embodiments, many births and deaths, and continuously we have been doing this. And therefore, we have anger, lust, fear, greed, jealousy, but we also have spirituality, compassion, love, kindness. So we come as a mixed bag, so to speak. None of us are totally pure, because then we wouldn't have been born, we would have been enlightened. But the reason we have come here is to um, find out, purify ourselves so we can do it. Otherwise, we will miss this great golden opportunity, and then who knows what will happen in the next embodiment. The law of karma is very profound and very precise, by the way, very precise. So when an aspirant generates pure impressions by the practice of listening, reflection, and meditation on the Vedantic teachings, he is able to develop a transcendental, intuitive vision which reveals the stupendous unity of the divine self. So therein lies the effort, therein lies the decoding of the mystery. There is no other way, no simpler way, and this is why teachers matter. A good teacher can make a world of difference to explain these difficult to understand concepts and to give you the tools necessary to explore further. In the absence of this intuitive vision, the mind continues to desire the objects of the world, because you think there is multiplicity, you think there is duality, you think this is very attractive and I hate this and I love this and so on. But in reality, it's all the same stuff, made of the same stuff. Desire continues to drag the soul from one illusion to another, from one dream to another. In the night of ignorance, a person goes from death to death, because he is subject to death in the world of illusion. So, death to another birth, to another death, to another birth. The cycle is unending. He continues to experience this process of birth and death. But when he tears the veil of ignorance by living this wisdom, he goes beyond birth and death. He has torn the curtain, burnt it, or removed it, or moved it. Nevertheless, no matter how he did it, but now he can see behind the scenes. So you do it through karma yoga, selfless service, you do it through devotion to God, you do it through meditation, or you do it through scriptural readings and wisdom and understanding, or a combination of all of them. In the end, you have to attain that goal of removing ignorance. That is the essence. Mantra number 11, Yama continues, the self is worth knowing by the pure mind alone, mind you. Pure mind, because this is The self is beyond all these things: mind, senses, intellect, ego. Can you see things in muddy water? If it's muddy and dark and dirty, nothing is visible. But if the river, if the water, same lake, becomes calm and serene and pure and clean, voila, everything comes and reflects into that lake. The mountains, the clouds, the birds, everything. That is the process of a pure mind. There is nothing in this world other than the self. Whoever sees multiplicity goes from death to death. A good teaching for everybody. Although what appears as multiplicity is in fact non dual. That's what we have to remember. So we will continue this satsang from mantra number 11 in tomorrow's satsang. So I hope you are getting wiser, enjoying these deep scriptures, deep and divine scriptures, enough to put us on the path towards enlightenment. And if we are sincere, it can be accomplished in this very life. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Hari Om Tat Sat.